desert temple survival base, basically a transformation. We're gonna get to it in this video. Welcome back. Good to hear from you, good to see you. See, I love the desert temple. It stands out in that desert, and I always figured, you know, you could transform this into something pretty cool, and that's what we're doing in this one. Okay, you had those two front pillars on the desert temple, and the idea here is to create this into a tower. I know you had to see it coming, because you know I love my cities, know I love my skyscrapers, but so I wanted to make this a nice skyscraper that gives it a cool look. And the idea is that you can do it in your own survival world to whatever scale you really want to do, but you know, it's a cool project. So you can see right now, okay, I just want to walk through the terribleness and what real building is like. This first iteration that you saw me build, I absolutely hated it, and that's why you see me remove it and change it all up. We built all that, and then we removed all of it. All of it. And so that's what you can do in your building. Obviously, not as easy to do in survival, so do it in creative. Think of your project ahead of time, and then go into your survival world and build it up. Okay, so you can see some of the major changes I made from that first iteration is I made the columns, the towers, larger. Okay, at first I went off the normal default size of those towers, but it really didn't work. They were too small, too narrow, didn't fit the size of the build, and also you couldn't use them as an actual interior. And so we changed it to these wider bases, and then the middle one is even wider. Okay, you saw down below, I wanted to integrate in that desert temple style. I didn't want to lose it. We're going with quite a modern building here, but I did want to keep it in there. So you're gonna see me use a lot of the pyramid type shapes, where you elevate block up by block up with sandstone. Okay, you can see me just build this big patio, and I want to mention that this building itself, those who play GTA, Grand Theft Auto 5, might, or you know, just from Los Angeles itself, might recognize this building. It was a huge inspiration for this building. That's part of the reason why I wanted to do this project. Basically, it's this center building with 3 extensions coming off, and that's what we did in this one. And I think it turned out pretty sweet. I modeled a ton of different aspects off that, and you know, tried to make that desert temple work in this way. Okay, so we're building up the towers, right? And that's what I would recommend you do. Give them some height. You don't have to go as tall as I'm going if you don't want. But a detail that we switched camera angle so you can't see it right this second, but you'll see me use it, is the actual temple detail with the orange and the sandstone. Okay, again, I wanted to keep that temple style throughout the entire build, and so I plugged that in on these towers, and that's probably the most critical. There it is on that left tower, and you'll see me add it right there. And on both sides I went with the clay because it stands out more. Boom, all the way around, and I put the face in. We're actually going to move that to the bottom later on, but that detail is so critical in keeping this the desert temple style. So I'm really happy we plugged that in, and it really is the key differentiator from just a regular skyscraper to a desert temple transformation. And so now you can see I'm really detailing it up. Okay, there's a lot of different changes that went on throughout this build. This one was definitely a work in progress the entire time. And honestly, I meant to do this video and have it out by like a Wednesday, a midweek video, and then do a city for the weekend, but it actually took longer than the city builds. It was just, there was so much, what's the word? You know, altering and trying to figure out the shape that it was actually a little bit stressful to try and come up with this one and see what we could do. Those 2 details are key though. Look, the mouth at the bottom, and I went with a pyramid at the top to once again iterate or establish, not iterate, establish that desert temple look. Now we're putting in a wall. For a survival base, I always put in a wall, okay? All these builds I do, I kind of envision them as a survival-based survival project. And so that's why you see me putting in that wall, doing what we need to do. At first, you know, again, I wanted to keep those elevating sandstone to match up with that desert style, but we had to put those iron fences, that's what they're called. We had to put those on the edges so that mobs can't jump over. Obviously, you can use wood if you don't want to go all over the top with the iron, but either way. And then it's two blocks tall with that concrete, kind of make that shape. Look at how many changes I'm making right here. Actually, that light gray is pretty good, but I went with sandstone. I tested around so much because I didn't know which one I liked. I ended up going with the dark gray. It contrasted the best, and I liked how it looked. But there's so much testing that goes on in this building, and that's what is really key in Minecraft. And one thing I really want to project to you guys is that there's a lot of testing. A lot of testing you don't know right away, and so definitely go into your building, and if you want to get better at building, then just test around. Keep placing blocks so that you can alter them. You can't just sit around and, you know, envision stuff or try to envision stuff. It doesn't work. I used to do that. I remember when I got better at building was kind of that change to always placing blocks, and then, you know, you can alter it to make it look better because you see it, so you can change it up. So that's a little tangent, but I did want to mention that. Right now I'm going throughout the building. I know there's parts inside the interior. I meant to put up some kind of like screenshots of the interior at some point in this video. So you'll see those. I didn't go all crazy looking around, but the interior is pretty cool, and a lot of what we did is keep the glass going up through the floors so that you can see all the way through the top of the skyscraper. So you can kind of see it right there, and even the glass on top, and I wanted to keep that orange style. And so that's what that was kind of the decision I made to keep that going. Screenshots showing the interior, pretty basic, but one thing I did keep is the chests going all the way down the center, because I thought that was really critical, and if you're building it as a survival base, might as well use the chests in that way. Keeps that desert temple style. Now you might notice right here, I'm digging across because there was actually a town not far off in the distance. So I built a road all the way down there just because I thought it would be cool. And you can absolutely do, if you have a similar situation, do the same and then make a city out of that village, okay? I was gonna do that, but I actually decided not to. This project actually, it took longer than I had anticipated in the first place, and I didn't want to dive into it even further right there. So maybe that's a project for another time, but I kind of want to focus back on cities that are in the grassy areas. So yeah, I went with that, and also look at the stairs along the sides of the road. That's key. Do that in your builds. But there you go. That's the desert temple transformed into this awesome big tower. Hopefully you liked it. I'll see you in the next one.